Hi boys and girls, welcome back. This week we are learning a brand new reading skill we have yet to talk about this year. And that reading skill is cause and effect. What happened and why did it happen? And you're going to quickly learn about cause and effect, that it's part of our everyday lives, not just a reading skill. So I picked a great story to start practicing cause and effect with. And many of you might actually be familiar with this because they made it a movie a couple years ago. And the book is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Now this series is perfect for teaching cause and effect. Also, the If You Give a series is perfect for cause and effect. Like if you give a pig a pancake, if you give a moose a muffin, if you give a mouse a cookie. And we will definitely explore those titles next time we practice cause and effect. But for this time, I picked this story because this entire book is cause and effect. And I hope you're able to pick it out as I'm reading it. So cause and effect is what happened and why did it happen. Okay, so Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And you're going to see cause and effect on this very first page. Like I said, the whole story is cause and effect. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard. And by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Wow, so just in this first page when Alexander woke up, there's probably about 3 or 4 cause and effects in this first page. He has gum in his mouth, or in his hair. Why does he have gum in his hair? Because he fell asleep with it in his mouth. He tripped over the skateboard. Why did he trip over the skateboard? Because his room is a mess. Right? So that is cause and effect. What happened and why did it happen? So poor Alexander, he's off to a terrible day already. Let's see how the rest of his day goes. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. And Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. So he says he wants to move to Australia because he didn't get any toy in his breakfast cereal box. That is cause and effect. All right. In the carpool today, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have the seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I was going to be car sick. No one answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And we know there's just not that many window seats in the car. Somebody has to sit in the middle. And unfortunately, that was Alexander. All right, now he's at school. At school, Mrs. Dickon likes Paul's picture of the sailboat better than the picture of my invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, very good, or no good, very bad day. So why didn't his teacher like the picture of his invisible castle? Because he didn't draw it. You're right. He didn't do it. All right, let's see. We're at recess now. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his 3rd best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone and the ice cream cone part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. So Alexander's not being too nice, is he? He's kind of upset that his friend Paul said he was his 3rd best friend and not his 1st. So now he's kind of being nasty, which that's not right. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of Jelly Roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. So just at recess, his friend Paul told him he's number 3 best friend, and now at lunch, he's the only one that doesn't get dessert because Mom forgot. Okay, now school's over. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to be in Australia. So he keeps using Australia as somewhere he wants to run away to from all these bad things that he thinks are happening to him. How many of you guys ever had a day where you feel like everything terrible is just happening to you and nobody else? Yeah, I know we've all had those days where it just feels like the world's against us. And unfortunately, that's Alexander today. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And so his brothers are kind of not helping the situation. While I was punching Nick for saying I was a crybaby, my mom came back with the car and yelled at me for being muddy and for fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. And no one even answered. So the brothers are picking on him, and by the time Mom comes back, she only sees Alexander picking on the brothers. So he's the only one that gets in trouble. All right, looks like they're shopping now. They're out shopping for some shoes. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white shoes, but they can't make me wear them. So the brothers get cool shoes with colors, and the shoes Alexander wants, of course, they're all sold out, so he just gets plain old boring white shoes. I hope this day ends for him soon. He seems like he's having a really tough time. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't take him there anymore. It was a horrible, no good, very bad day. He kind of destroyed Dad's office, and here's Dad. Ugh. Okay, I think they're back at home finally. I think this day's coming to an end. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. And you could see he's kind of like, ugh. Uh-oh, bath time, what's wrong? My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. Lucky for him, his day's about to be over. Okay, here we go. We're back to his bedroom like the beginning of the story. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me, so here's the cat all the way up there. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are just like that. Even in Australia. The end. So this poor kid, Alexander, he had a really rough day. Everything seemed to be going the opposite direction he wanted to. He wanted all these good things to happen, and all the bad things happened to him. But luckily his day is over. And like I said, even us, we seem to have our bad days as well, where it just seems like everything bad that can happen is happening to us. But like Mom said, everybody has those days. All right, guys, I hope you were able to point out a ton of cause and effect, because like I said, this entire story was cause and effect, and we saw starting with the very first line in the story. So your task now is to identify a couple of cause and effect that you saw throughout the story, and let me know so I know you know what cause and effect is. Good luck, you guys.